Hello everyone and welcome to When We Last Left the Party. This is a show where we talk about the gaming that I do and how to make the gaming you do better. Now a while back, the group that I play with on Monday decided that we wanted to do a campaign that travels from level 1 through 30 using nothing but the modules published by Wizards of the Coast. As such, we're going to start at the very beginning. Keep on the Shadowfell. Come on, get that graphic up there. There we go. Isn't that a pretty module? This episode is about that all-important first session and getting the group together. I'm really proud to be running this, and I'm really glad that I'm an experienced DM, because this group could have been a handful. Now what do I mean by that? Here, let me explain. First, we have Morgrim, an overtly evil spear-wielding warlord. An overtly evil character can be a real pain in the neck, especially if the player playing him tries to go around and just commit evil acts all the time. Now, Morgrim's player really helped out with this. He came up with a good reason why he is adventuring with the party at all. Then we have Strath, Stonehammer the Seventh, an unaligned blackguard, and also a legacy character. Now, legacy characters are characters or families from another campaign. Now, Strath's player really helped out with this by coming forward automatically and just telling me the character backstory. It is very important that you communicate with your DMs. I cannot stress that enough. Now, legacy characters can also bring with them legacy items, powerful magic items that can completely unbalance a campaign. Now, the best way I've found to deal with this problem is to scale back the power of the items and allow the powers to become unlocked and fully fledged when the character gains levels. And that brings us to Dashava, the Elven Ranger, played by a player who really likes combat. A lot. He likes it even more than the actual role-playing elements. Fortunately, this problem more or less solved itself. We're playing from modules, which have really good pacing. Now, if you have a player in your group that plays like this, make sure to keep a good blend of RPing bits along with combat bits. Now let me take a moment here to thank Dashava's player. He's actually really good at role-playing, when he actually gets down to role-playing. And he doesn't distract any of the other players while they're role-playing. He doesn't try and ruin their enjoyment. Thank you. Moving on, we have Rogar Frostscale, a dragonborn knight whose main role-playing bits are focused around the low wisdom score. Now this could really be a major problem if you as the DM don't constantly nudge and remind the player that he in fact doesn't have the low wisdom score, it's just the character. Now it is good to just nudge and remind the player to not derail the whole campaign and claim it's role-playing. Remember, we're all there to have fun. And finally we have Ophaline, a wild and battle mind that's a cross-play character played by someone who does not normally game with our group. Now, as long as cross-playing isn't just an excuse to throw in a bunch of boob jokes, I have no problem with it. And as long as the rest of the players are okay with it, this really shouldn't be an issue. Integrating a new player can be a little bit tricky, but just try and remember to treat him just like every other player at the table, and try and encourage the rest of the players to do so as well. Doing so will really help things get along. The campaign opened up with Morgrim and Dashava, longtime friends, being magically compelled to atone for their past crimes. To do this, they have to hunt down the evil death cultist and former ally of theirs, Calorel. The two decide to hire some muscle-bound mercenaries, namely Ophaline and Rogar. At the same time, Strath finds that his longtime mentor, Dovin Stahl, is missing. Hearing there are people hiring mercenaries, Strath decides to join the group, and they all head off to Winterhaven. As they near town, the group is ambushed by kobolds. The first combat of any campaign should be just a nice, easy combat that lets the group get to know each other and figure out how they work together. Unfortunately, this didn't work too well because the entire group was rolling poorly, and the DM, the lucky person that he is, decided to roll like a god. Still, the party triumphs and they make their way to Winterhaven. They start asking around town about the cult, and no one seems to have any useful information for them. The only real lead they get is Lord Padraig is offering them 100 gold pieces to clear out the kobolds. That is, until Dashava stumbles upon the lady Ninaran, a quiet elf huntress who usually prefers to drink alone. She seems to believe that the kobolds have ties to the cultists, and gives the party directions to their hideout. After 2 more battles with kobolds, the party gets to the cave, and is in for their first major fight. As the party enters the waterfall, they have to face a level 6 encounter. The party has to face 16 kobolds, and their goblin leader, Irontooth, who he himself is a level 3 elite brute. This was a very serious battle, and the party almost fell due to really bad dice luck. The party stuck it out though, and were rewarded with their first bit of magical treasure, and their first sighting of Calorel. Overall, it was a decent session, but everyone's poor dice luck really kept the group from having the most enjoyment they could have. The storyline was intriguing enough, though, to keep everyone's attention and get them past the poor dice rolls. As the DM, I enjoyed watching the group get together and figure out just how their battle strategy should work. Overall, the party collected 541 gold pieces, 122 silver pieces, a dragon figurine with a symbol of Orcus on the bottom worth 80 gold pieces, and a +1 suit of dwarven chainmail. That's all I have for you guys this week. Join me next time on When We Last Left the Party.